Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be fueled by fear, starved by safety. So you guys probably get an idea as to where I'm going with this one, but let's take a couple of nice deep breaths first. Fill the lungs up. Exhale all the negative. Breathe in the peace. Exhale the noise and the chaos. Breathe in the calm. Exhale the fear, anxiety, the worry. All right, so topic today is going to be fueled by fear, starved by safety. And I'm talking about TMS, mind-body syndrome, perceived danger pain or perceived danger symptoms. And for the most part, the vast majority of chronic illness is fueled by fear, and therefore the solution and the way to starve this fire from burning out of control is safety. So fear is really and I've said it a number of times, fear is really what drives so much of this. Sarno's original theory, the brain was fearing the emotions, and therefore it distracted us with something physical like pain to distract us from these scary, dark emotions that the brain didn't think we could handle. So fear is driving it all. And I've said a number of times, a terrified brain doesn't operate this human body very efficiently or effectively. Things can get out of balance when you're constantly in fear or even terror about our health conditions, about our symptoms, our sensations. And I get how it can be scary. And not only have I personally experienced 13 years of chronic pain, much of it disabling, but I've also interacted with countless numbers of people, probably coached individually, I would say probably, close to 1,000 people now in my group program, working with, on average, about 80 people. Not all of them show up to the weekly calls. Many of them are watching the replays, but interacting with thousands of people around the globe. And primarily for the people who seem to have the most significant, severe type of symptoms, when I speak with them, inevitably their fear levels are very high, through the roof. And the people who get better quickly or get better at all are able to take the rational, logical, accurate knowledge approach to dialing down the fear. And once we lose the fear, we're really starting to starve these symptoms, because a brain and nervous system that's up here and running on static electricity and fear and terror is going to have a tough time turning off pain. The way to do it, if this fire called TMS or this mind-body syndrome or perceived danger pain if this fire is burning out of control, fueled by fear, the way to starve it is messages of safety consistently, right? And I get how scary this stuff is. Number one, get clarity, because without the clarity as to the fact that the brain is creating the pain and symptoms, it's not your body. Now look, if you're uncertain, go through the assessments. yourpaintest.com. Take the pain test. Go to ppdassociation.org/symptoms and answer the 30 questions. Or go download the self-assessment at painforyou.com. Right? There's several different ways of getting a pretty good handle on how your pain is behaving and whether or not it's created by a brain that's perceiving danger or some physical, structural, biological, disease-based process. The vast majority of people are dealing with an overprotective brain that's perceiving danger and thereby creating symptoms, and in some cases just not optimizing and operating this machinery called the human body in a very effective way. So autoimmune issues, digestive issues, these are not classic TMS, because classic TMS, as defined by Sarno, was pain created by the brain to distract us from this overwhelming set of repressed negative emotions. So it's a digestive issue that's out of balance. TMS, if it's too much stress, the answer is probably yes. Immune systems that aren't operating optimally, is that classic TMS? Not in the way Dr. Sarno defined it, but if we're looking at too much stress or too much fight or flight, keep in mind, when you are in the stress response, fight or flight response, two major systems get suppressed. Your digestive system, everything from saliva production to digestive enzymes, and that can cause all sorts of disorders within the gut. And the immune system is also suppressed. So, if you get sick often, or if you've got allergies or asthma, you're becoming more sensitive to certain things, it could very well be that your immune system has been in a suppressed state from too much stress, TMS, for too long, and it's not optimized. It's not working as it should. The good news is that by offsetting this stress and getting out of that fight or flight more often, a little more self-care, more self-soothing, these systems can return to balance fairly quickly. And so don't underestimate the power of the brain to create these challenges, and therefore don't underestimate the power of the brain to turn them off, right? All of this stuff, especially the very most severe cases, are absolutely fueled by fear. And it doesn't matter if you've got one symptom or 60. Fear is driving it all. The whole system's a little bit out of balance. And in my opinion, teaching the brain that you're safe is always the solution. There's no downside to it. And for the people who are saying, but I'm not 100% sure, it might be this, it might be that, there's no downside to messages of safety, calm, reassurance, and trusting your body. If there's a real legitimate medical thing going on, trust your body to heal. Trust the doctors to help you. But if there's not, and you've ruled in this thing called mind-body syndrome, TMS, perceived danger pain, zero downside, only benefit to a calm, trusting response that says, I'm going to be okay. There's no reason for me to hurt. So all of this stuff is fueled by fear, and the way to starve that fire of symptoms is to really consistent messages of safety. That's a catchphrase of mine that I say all the time because it matters. If you're freaking out 4 times a day, but then you try to throw in a little bit of safety messages, and then you conclude this stuff doesn't work, it's not working because you're still freaking out a lot. And look, for the people who say, how am I not supposed to freak out? That's impossible. It's a 10 out of 10 pain. It's constant, it's chronic, it's all the time. How am I not supposed to freak out? Are you telling me I'm supposed to just make believe this is okay? And I get it. Frustrating as heck, especially hearing from a guy like me that keeps on saying the same stuff. Hey, come on, chill out, you're okay, you're going to be fine. And yet, several of you are probably sitting there going, you don't understand, Dan, you don't have my pain. Well, I did at one point. And I can assure you that freaking out and being in despair and depressed and catastrophically thinking that this is for the rest of your life, that you'll never get better, I can guarantee you that that is not the way to turn off the pain or the wide variety of symptoms you may have. I've never met anybody who freaked out enough and got angry enough at their symptoms and felt enough despair that all these symptoms went away. And I'm seeing it over and over and over again in my coaching clients, my group and private clients. The people who get it and really get clear on this stuff are the ones whose system settles down so much quicker. So So if you want to starve your symptoms of the fuel, which is fear, safety is the answer. And remember, your brain always believes what you think and say most often. Ask yourself, what's your dominant message to yourself? Oh no, I'm in trouble, or this is temporary. I'm going to be good. I'm learning. I'm practicing. This is going to work for me. What's the dominant message you're sending to your brain? Are you scaring the crap out of yourself with your language and describing just how bad it is because you want other people to understand? Because if you're trying to get other people to understand, you're also convincing your brain how bad it is and how much danger you're in, how much trouble you're in. Watch your language. I don't mean don't curse or I'll wash your mouth out with soap. I mean, watch how you're describing what's going on. It's temporary. TMS, temporary mind-body syndrome. It's not here forever. It's not a life sentence. It's been learned, and the brain can unlearn it. So, fueled by fear. How do you dial down the fear? Accurate knowledge. Clarity, acceptance of that knowledge, and then just continually reinforcing that belief. And for the people who say, Dan, but I'm talking to my brain all day long, telling myself, oh, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to be fine. It's exhausting. Well, you know what else is exhausting? Walking around talking to yourself all day long going, oh my God, I'm never going to get better. This is horrible. I can't stand this. I don't want to be here anymore. That's exhausting too. The approach which I'm suggesting, these consistent messages of safety, don't take any more time than you're already spending. As a matter of fact, they take less time because when you start to apply these consistent messages of safety, your brain starts to be less vigilant, stops looking for danger everywhere, then you can start to shift your attention more towards doing normal things. So this is kind of how it works, folks. Safety is always going to be the solution. If you want a prescription, safety is it. If you're not sure if the things you're doing are helping or not, ask yourself, is my approach helping me to feel safer and more calm and more reassured? Or is my response to the pain scaring the crap out of myself with a lot of fearful thoughts, a lot of despairing thoughts that this will never go away and maybe the doctors missed something? Those aren't messages of safety. Do the opposite. And so you probably watched the video yesterday of, the heck was it called? Oh, notice what's not working or what doesn't work. You know, if you've been struggling with this TMS approach for a while, evaluate what you've been doing. And if you're not getting better with what you've been doing, switch it up. Go more towards safety. So, love you guys and gals. I'm going to wrap this one up. I appreciate you. If you need some more help, consider the group. You can get started immediately with the course, and coaching calls are every Wednesday, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is New York City. And if you're not sure what that is in your time zone, ask Google. They'll tell you. You know. So, love you guys and gals, and we'll see you tomorrow.